Welcome back, students. This is the third and the last module of the chapter Heredity and Evolution. In our previous modules, we have seen about Gregor Johann Mendel, father of genetics, then the monohybrid cross, the pair of characters that Mendel took in Pisum sativum for his experiment, then the monohybrid cross, and today I am going to discuss about the dihybrid cross. See, students, first let us understand what is a dihybrid cross. Similar to monohybrid cross, which was a cross between two organisms which differed in one pair of contrasting character, the dihybrid cross is also a cross between two organisms, but these two organisms differ in two pairs of contrasting character. Like in monohybrid cross, we took the plant character to be plant height. And what were the alternating forms? The tall plant and the dwarf plant. Here, Mendel took two pairs of character of the same pea plant for his dihybrid cross. The characters were the yellow seed and the green seed, that is the seed color, and yellow seed and the green seeds were the two alternating forms, and the round and the wrinkled seeds, that is the seed texture as the character, and the alternating forms were roundness of the seed and wrinkledness of the seed. On crossing them separately, he found that yellow color of the seed is dominant over the green color of the seed, and round color of the seed is dominant over the wrinkledness of the seed. Now, what was his experiment? Like the monohybrid cross, here also Mendel crossed a plant with yellow colored and round seeds with a plant with green colored and wrinkled seeds. And in F1 generation, he found all plants to be yellow and round seeded because of their dominancy over the other allele or trait. But when he self-crossed the same in the F2 generation, what he found? He found round and yellow seed along with wrinkle and green seeds. That were the parental form. And to his surprise, he found two new varieties which were not present in the parental generation. That is yellow and wrinkled seeds and green and round seeds. Now, how did Mendel explain this observation? Let us see the explanation of the dihybrid cross. As the yellow color was dominant over the green color, the alleles of yellow color was represented as capital Y, and the green color were represented as small y and small y. See here? And as because the roundness of the seed was dominant over the wrinkledness of the seed, the roundness of the seed were expressed with capital R and wrinkledness was expressed with small r, small r. So students, what would be the gametes that will be formed from here? For capital Y, capital R, the gametes would be capital Y, capital R. Homogametic, so only one type of gamete. The same for small y and small r. The gametes would be small y and small r, meaning one member from each pair of alleles. So, for the pair of allele, capital Y, only one Y, and capital R, only one R, since they are homogametic. So, if they fuse, what will happen in the F1 generation? The genotypic combination would be capital Y, small y, and capital R, small r. And what would be the phenotype of the F1 generation? All the seeds will be yellow and round. See here as depicted in the picture. So, in F1 generation, all the seeds would be yellow and round. Now, Mendel did self-crossing in the F2 generation. So, on self-crossing, capital Y, capital R, small r, with another same genetic combination, what will happen? So, we will have a variety of gametes in these cases, because it will not be homogametic, it will be heterogametic, and 4 types of gametes would be formed with the combination of capital Y, capital R, capital Y, small r, small y, capital R, and small y, small r. So, each gamete will have one member of both the traits. So, in this way, 4 types of gametes would be formed for each of the male and the female plant. And as I said, fertilization is a matter of random chance. So, and also that Mendel took into consideration all possible combinations of the genotype that can be formed by random fertilization into account. So, here in F2 generation, both the combination of gametes will randomly fertilize with each other. But if we show the fertilization in the way we did for monohybrid cross, it will be a huge representation and a lot confusing too. To solve this problem, Mr. Punnett devised a method to represent the 2 types or the gametes from male and female along the x-axis and y-axis respectively. And as a result, he got a square of all the combinations, and this square was called Punnett's square. So, Punnett's square is nothing but a short and scientific method, an easy method to represent all the possible combinations of the 2 gametes involved in the fertilization. So, students, let us see here. As I said, there were 4 types of gametes for both male and female plant in this case. And these gametes, as I said, were capital Y, capital R, capital Y, small r, small y, capital R, and small y, small r. So, in this square, we represent every possible fertilization option of the gametes. Like the first one is represented as the capital Y being crossed with the capital Y, capital R. And the combination that is formed along with its phenotype. So, capital Y, capital R, capital Y, capital R combining. So, the genotype of the F2 generation will be capital Y, capital Y, capital R, capital R. And what would be the phenotype? Yellow and round seed. Likewise, all the combinations were written down in the Punnet's square. And on analyzing the types of seeds found in F2 generation, we will find two new types of genotypic combination which would give the phenotype to be green and round and yellow and wrinkled, which were not present in the parental generation. And a particular ratio of all the types of seeds would be seen. Like here, 9 out of 16 would have a phenotype of round and yellow seeds, and 1 out of 16 will have a phenotype of green and wrinkled seeds, which were taken in the parental generation. And the two new varieties, or hybrids as we call, will be in the ratio of 3 and 3 out of 16. So, green and round 3, yellow and wrinkled 3, which gives the phenotypic ratio of the dihybrid cross to be 9:3:3:1. So, Mendel got the phenotypic ratio of the dihybrid cross as 9:3:3:1. And what he further said? He proposed law of independent assortment for the formation of newer varieties, which can be explained as follows, and then I'll give you the statement so that you can understand the statement better. Mendel said that the yellowness of the seed, or rather the allele for the yellowness of the seed, did not have any control or did not interfere with the expression of the roundness of the seed. So, the allele for the yellow color had no type of interaction with the allele for the round color or roundness of the seed. Similarly, the green color allele of the pea seed had no impact on the wrinkledness of the seed. And that is why during gamete formation, the allele for the yellow color assorted independently, moved out independently of the allele of the roundness of the seed. Similarly, the allele for the green color of the seed moved independent of the allele of the wrinkledness of the seed. As a result, new combinations were possible. So, the alleles were free to move and combine with any of the other form of the allele or character during random fertilization, and likewise the character was expressed. So, the law of independent assortment states that if two or more pairs of characters are crossed, then the allele for one type of character assorts or moves independently of the allele of other type of character. So that is what here I explained. The allele for the yellow color of the seed moved independent of the allele of the roundness of the seed, and vice versa. Though later on it was found that it is not 100% true, because not all the characters are present on different chromosomes. If the characters or the alleles are present on the same chromosome, they tend to move together. But for now, you will only remember that the alleles move independent of each other for different characters, and that is what is law of independent assortment. And this is about the Mendel's dihybrid cross.